All right, we have more changes unfolding in the Golden State. Changes that have the state of California doing the unthinkable, reinstating mask mandates for select NorCal counties, something that many of us, most of us, thought was long gone, that we've come to a national understanding that mandates were a bad idea. Well, leave it to California, right? Leave it to Governor Gavin Newsom to rewind the tape and bring this asinine policy back. And it's not just mask mandates. There's a whole slew of new laws and policies that Gavin Newsom just signed into law the last few weeks. In fact, there's so many that I can't keep up. I normally make videos about the real crazy stuff the governor does, but I'll have to squeeze all this into one single video for you. And why? Why are they ramping up this policy agenda now? Just flooding the zone with these crazy laws, all focused around what? Around the election. We're only 23 days out before November 5th, the most consequential election in decades. So if you live in California, you're going to want to pay attention to this. But before we get started, thank you for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps out the channel. And consider subscribing so you don't miss these regular updates. So as predicted, the Democrats are bringing back mask mandates. We saw stories leak out back in August from the Harris-Biden administration with plans on relaunching masking, or at least wanting to, discussing their options on how to do it. They also issued lockdown orders in select northeastern towns back in August, something you may have missed, as corporate media barely mentioned it. And these lockdown orders are still scheduled to go into effect in the coming weeks. All signs that point to a reintroduction to COVID policy, a reintroduction that's apparently coming. The first wave, at least, just apparently began. We're going to break it all down and what to expect next.
This order goes into effect starting November 1 until either the end of March or April 2025.
Current increase in the number of COVID cases, and as the cold and flu season gets geared up, limited face mask requirements are coming back to several Bay Area counties. Health officials have issued orders for face masks required to be worn in hospitals, skilled nursing facilities, and other healthcare facilities. That order takes effect beginning November 1st until either the end of March or April of 2025.
So with only 23 days to go before November 5th, California Governor Gavin Newsom decides to greenlight mask mandates starting on November 1st. November 1st, that's just 5 days out from the election. This story was first picked up in the San Francisco Chronicle on Friday. Mask mandates are coming back to the Bay Area. Here's where they say masks are coming back to the Bay Area for a limited time. A limited time. Yeah, we've all heard that before. As the annual cold and flu season gears up, several Bay Area counties have recently issued local health orders requiring face masks to be worn in hospitals, skilled nursing facilities, and all other healthcare facilities starting on November 1st until either March 31st or April 30th, 2025. November 1st is 5 days before the election. Here's the counties that have been mandated: Alameda County, Marin County, Contra Costa County, Santa Clara County, San Mateo County, and Napa County all have mask mandates now. And why are they bringing it back now? Well, they say it has to do with the upcoming flu season. It's the time of year, right? But again, masks are all about instilling fear in people. You see everyone masking up, it's freaky. It instills fear. Could it also be possible that the pandemic just so happened to be a winning issue for Dems? Democrats poll much higher with pandemic response. I don't know, but it's not the first time we saw them do something like this. Back in August, the Harris-Biden administration issued lockdown orders for select northeastern cities. Not immediate lockdown orders, but scheduled lockdown orders to go into effect starting October 1st that require you to remain indoors after 5 p.m., lasting until the first hard frost, they said. The New York Post reported this in August, writing, "It's the Board of Health's responsibility to protect the public health, and we take EEE very seriously, and we are strongly encouraging residents to follow these recommendations due to the severity of EEE. Even though this year in Massachusetts there has only been one human case of EEE, but throughout the state mosquitoes have tested positive for it. EEE, if you're wondering, it's a mosquito-borne illness." And again, all of this beginning right now before November 5th. Now, I'm not saying they're purposely trying to interfere with the election, but I am saying that lockdowns and any type of mandates in general, will likely affect turnout. If people see everyone suddenly masking up, they don't want to wait in long lines or wait in an auditorium packed with people. Could that happen? It seems likely to me, and it's not the first election interference policy California rolled out. Recently, this past month, Gavin Newsom's uber left-wing government has been on a tear with these new policies, all focused around the election, which wouldn't be a bad thing if he was trying to protect the election. But when you look at the list of new laws Newsom signed in this past month, in comparison, when you look at California's new laws versus Florida's in regards to the election, you'll see the striking juxtaposition on what each state's priority is. For example, Florida has been cleaning their voter rolls, removing thousands of deceased individuals and people who have moved out of state, who changed their primary residence. He took them off the rolls, removed their registrations. Florida also has voter ID laws, whereas California, just last week, Governor Gavin Newsom signed a bill into law to ban voter ID statewide.
In California, Governor Gavin Newsom has signed a bill into law prohibiting all local government in the state from requiring voters to show any ID of any kind. He's literally prohibiting it because apparently, at least according to the state's attorney general, doing so flies in the face of the principles of free elections. But why? Look, you can say that you don't think they should be mandated. I happen to think voter ID makes a lot of sense. There are only 14 states, I think, in the country that do not require voter ID.
Why is he doing this? Why is California rushing these laws through now, 1 month out from November 5th? Well, I'm going to tell you why. And it's not just these two. There's like a whole slew of them, a dozen or so new laws. Another one was banning of like AI altered comedy clips. You probably heard about that in regards to politicians, called Assembly Bill 2839, which goes into effect immediately. Makes it illegal to distribute materially deceptive audio or visual media of a candidate 120 days before an election, and in some cases 60 days thereafter. All because Newsom, by the way, was mad that someone posted a negative meme of him. But the voter ID law was critical. That was the most important and consequential by far. And again, why? Why is that? Well, take a listen to Elon Musk answer this question last week with Tucker Carlson. Watch this.
Democrats, the Dem machine, has been importing so many people, bringing in so many illegals, flying in with this like CBP border app thing that nobody even knew about, like secret program. That's illegal, basically. It's illegal, but there's no action by DOJ to actually to stop it from happening. Large numbers of illegals to swing states. If you look at the numbers, these are the numbers from the government website. So, like from the Democrat-administered government websites. Like, where do you get this data? From the government website that is run by Democrats. There are triple-digit increases in illegals to all the swing states. And in some cases, it's like 700% over the last 3 years. So my prediction is if there's another 4 years of a Dem administration, they will legalize so many illegals that are there that the next election, there won't be any swing states. And we'll be a single-party country, just like California is a single-party state. It's a supermajority Dem state in California.
Because of immigration?
Yes. California was fairly reliably Republican.
Bill Clinton lost California in '92 and won West Virginia.
And there's actually two parts to this. The first part, which Elon didn't mention there, is the census, how our congressional districts are drawn up has to do with the number of people in a certain area. The census doesn't ask about citizenship. So under the Harris-Biden administration, they flooded the country with new undocumented migrants. Hundreds of thousands are now located in red states, like Springfield, Ohio, for example. 20,000 Asians now live in Springfield, Ohio. Well, the next time the census is conducted, that's going to impact congressional districts. The second part is what Elon was addressing. So look, they see what's happening in the country right now. They see the tide turning. Newsom has a supermajority. He's utilizing it while he can because Americans are fed up with the direction of the country. Even in California, I have friends in California, and they all want Newsom to go. And these aren't Republicans, by the way. They just believe something needs to change in California. The pendulum needs to swing back the other direction. And tell me in the comments if you're not also experiencing this, that there's like this clear shift happening in the national temperature where Americans realize now more than ever that Kamala is just more of the same. They look back on the past month even, and what do you see? Scenes of striking workers, our ports closing down, hurricane devastation, the world in a constant war posture, missiles flying over Israel, now inflation beginning to surge higher again. If you didn't see that, CPI numbers just came out and they popped. Also, both adversary countries and allies are mobilizing to dismantle the US dollar hegemony. Without it, the US can't issue bonds and leverage the national debt like we've been doing. And therefore, both Wall Street experts and central bankers have been warning that hedging against debasement is a must right now. On September 18th, in New York City, the 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump, he made history. I don't know if you saw this when he used cryptocurrency to purchase burgers. He was the first president to ever use Bitcoin. De-dollarization's accelerating, folks. Donald Trump understands this. He understands BRICS is taking this project head on. And all these mega trends that are happening are directly tied to DeFi Technologies, today's sponsor, whose share price has been surging up more than 300% in 2024 so far. You can see their ticker symbol on the screen, DEFTF. And the company just filed the forms to be uplisted and upgraded to the NASDAQ. That's how well they're doing. In the July Bitcoin conference in Nashville, Donald Trump talked about the 210,000 Bitcoins that the government already owns, and that if elected, he said, he's going to create a national stockpile, which will only grow. It goes much deeper than that. His plan is to frame the industry's regulatory environment within his first 100 days in office. To be clear at the outset here, I'm not here to pull any punches. DeFi Technologies is my soul, my only bullish call on the blockchain industry. One of the most successful cryptocurrency entrepreneurs, Johann Wadenstorm, who founded the first ever Bitcoin ETF, is deeply involved with DeFi Technologies. He founded Valor, which is licensed to issue ETPs, exchange-traded products, in the Nordic markets, and just announced that they're expanding to the London Stock Exchange, which is basically the NASDAQ of Europe, right? Well, Valor uses trading fees, staking, and lending to generate between 8 and 10% on assets under management. Its business is profitable and booming. Valor is a wholly owned subsidiary of DeFi Technologies. Not only is DeFi surging much more than Bitcoin itself, proving the effectiveness of its business model, Eric Jackson, founder of EMJ Capital, who has explained both on NBC's Money Movers and on Fox Business why he considers DeFi Technologies a company with the inherent potential to dramatically appreciate.
I read when you had a conversation with your son, and you gave him these three names, right? DeFi Technology, Open Door, and Upstart as potential 20 baggers. I never heard of DeFi. Tell us about it.
DeFi is in the crypto space, but they run a bunch of ETFs over in Europe. And they're a small company. They're less than $1 billion market cap. And that's one of the keys. If you want to find a 20 bagger, you got to start small. I love NVIDIA, but to 20 bags from 3 trillion, that's going to be tough. Right. So DeFi is small. It's cheap. It has something like a 3x forward price earnings multiple versus people like Coinbase and Robinhood who have like 40x forward PEs. So I think it's just going to continue to do well and perform, and people will discover it. That's why I like it.
Right now, folks, shares trade for around $2 a share. This is why me and Anthony Pompliano and Eric Jackson are so bullish on this company. Pomp is a major shareholder of DeFi Technologies. In 2024, Bitcoin's up 43%. Not too bad, right? In 2024, DeFi Technologies is up 308%. So, not like apples to apples here. Since September 2023, Bitcoin's up 141%. That's great. But DeFi's up 2,600%. In the past 5 years, Bitcoin's up 672%, while DeFi's up over 10,000%. Look, bottom line, I am extremely bullish on the company. So far, the company's generated $72 million in net income USD in 2024. That's an indisputable fact. The average S&P 500 component company is trading at an average P/E ratio of 26. If DeFi Technologies, which is growing much faster than the S&P 500 constituent, was trading at a P/E of 26, its market cap would be $2.5 billion. At the time of this, its market cap's only $627 million, which means it's trading at a P/E ratio of 6.5. Let that sink in. So again, let's recap. Why this is my only bullish call on the crypto industry. DeFi Technologies, it's the holding company that owns profitable subsidiaries Reflexivity Research, which is a crypto research firm that Pompliano founded and is profitable. Valor is the crown jewel of the company, a booming and growing ETP provider with close to 30 products and new frontiers that it's entering. DeFi Alpha, the arbitrage trading desk, which the company launched just 4 months ago, they've already booked $97.5 million in revenues. On October 9th, 2023, DeFi Technology shares were quoted at just 8 cents. Today, 52 weeks later, shares are up over $2, up 2,400%, and the P/E ratio today is only 6.5. Now, all of this growth has been largely thanks to Valor's Nordic market. That's where their primary ETP business is, where it's launched close to 30 ETPs just in that one market alone. But now in its recent announcement that it's entering the London Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ of Europe, I'm extremely excited about this. Think about that. All this growth from one single market, more or less, the Nordic market. They haven't even expanded to the US yet. Lord knows what'll happen when they do, and they have every intention of doing that. With bombshell news of the completion of the Stillman Capital acquisition, which is the company's flag planting in the US, where the growth opportunities are so much bigger than anywhere else, it's not even a contest. In other words, in the last 90 days, DeFi has expanded its business to 2 additional continents, filed for an uplisting to the NASDAQ, purchased cryptocurrencies to strengthen its own treasury, announced a major buyback program, and made DeFi Alpha a highly successful arbitrage trading desk. So look, what I'll say, do your homework on DeFi Technologies. All right, that wraps up this episode. Like, subscribe, we'll see you next time.